was awesome!
Koa?
Are these the Dimensionals? Stand back, kid. We've got this. Are these the Dimensionals?
I'm Bencho. This is Flash, a series where I give you my first impression on games I've been playing, new or old. Today, that game is Dimensionals. Dimensionals is a roguelike deck builder, similar in style to other games like Slay the Spire and Darkest Dungeon. You command a squadron of comic book-like superheroes named the Dimensionals,
Are these the Dimensionals?
with such endearing characters like Gramps and Mag Mama, while fighting a great evil multi-dimensional space being called Space Wrath or something. I'm not sure. Look, if you're a returning viewer, you can tell that this game doesn't really line up with a lot of the other games I've covered on my channel. I have a preference for grimy and weird sludge, and Technicolor superhero games with such memorable characters like Boop are not usually my purview. I mean, in reality, I play more than just rolling in the mud simulators, and part of the reason I chose to review this game is to prove that I can enjoy good, clean fun once in a while. But for all this game's glitz and glamour, animated cutscenes, and sparkly effects, it doesn't deliver much else. Like I said earlier, Dimensionals is a roguelike deck builder. You collect cards that dictate your hero's powers, and collect new powers and additional heroes through playing the game. And I'm not kidding when I say that is the most detailed description of this game I can provide. If you've never played this type of game before, then you'd be tempted to say it's not so bad. It's well made, it has classic deck building roguelike mechanics and a comprehensive goal, kill the bad guy. But if you've played at least one other competent game of this genre, then you'll understand that that is not enough. This game initially caught my eye because on all of their press work and advertisements, they present the game like it was this massive, over-the-top battler where a gang of plucky, juiced-up superheroes duke it out with cosmic, multi-dimensional horrors. But the truth is, even though there are occasional boss battles that emulate this, 90% of the game is just this. The game is just makeup. There's no substance. It's almost as if they're just going through the motions. It feels like they Googled roguelike deck builder dictionary definition and that's it. Like they expected all the pretty lights and easily digestible art style would be enough to trick people into thinking it's good. But I'm here to tell you that it's not. Games like this play a part in why I seek out grimier, some might say uglier, games. If a developer is not afraid to make something gross, then they're confident the game will speak for itself. Dimensionals is the opposite. It falls short of its facade. I mean, past the surface, there's just nothing endearing about it. Every single one of the characters can be compared to any boilerplate video game trope. The main character is like the default model at the start of a character creation screen. His power? Punch. And he has a rock. There's a buff, tall, bearded old man in power armor who specializes in defense, and his name is Gramps. Why is his name Gramps? Because he's the main character's grandpa.
My boy, Gramps?
Hammer down!
There's a robot that looks like an iPhone, and they just fucking forgot to name it, I guess, because it's just called Boop. Like, I'm getting bored and angry describing it because I can't even write something scathing and specific about it because we've all seen this shit over and over and over and over again. I'm not above a game being basic. In fact, around the same time I started playing Dimensionals, I also picked up another game that's similar in spirit called Vampire Hunter, which is just a wave-based shooter roguelike where you kill spooky fantasy creatures with a bunch of guns with equally nondescript characters like Scout or Paladin or Beardion. But the difference is, I actually like that game, because even though it's not doing so much to stand out from similar games within the genre, they aren't trying to convince you there's something they're not. The problem that Dimensionals has is the same problem that other cash grabs of its ilk share. They understand what makes a game immortal is twofold. Either it's incredibly good, fun, or well made, or it has endearing, memorable characters and moments that reaches the player emotionally and forms a relationship to the game. And since making a game fun, would mean having an original thought, these devs go for the latter. But since they also have the emotional capacity of a sock, their idea of endearment is a character saying wicked, sick, or let's go. I mean, this is just my critiques of the presentation. Turns out, the early review copy I received that I had to request access to ended up being the exact same executable as the already available free demo. The game crashed randomly the first time I played it, there's missing audio, and unfinished or just plain non-existent animations. At the time of this review, there's still 2 weeks remaining before release, so I understand that what I'm playing is not a finished version. But for fuck's sake, what do you mean you have Gramps over here moaning and grunting, but you don't have a sound effect for this? Here, I'll do one for you. First one's free. To me, Dimensionals is another vapid attempt to take advantage of our laziness as consumers. It shows you flashing lights and pretty colors and tells you, don't worry, we're fun, we're cool. It doesn't matter what you spend your time on, does it? At least it's a distraction from the bad brain thoughts, right? I mean, for God's sakes, Mino Studios, the guys who made this game, puts $23 million raised in world-class investors as a selling point for their games. Their most popular game is a mobile game called Cats. And in their own words, if you don't like cats, we also have dogs. You're a number to them, a paycheck. Dimensionals gets an F. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your time. You're worth more than a few flashing lights and a couple of let's goes. Just play Slay the Spire again. That's going to be it for me. See you on the next one.